Well, as we all prepare to enter 2009, I prepare to enter 2019, and maybe even further into the future. Because come the new year, I'm going to be reviewing some games and some consoles, some of which are good, some of which are bad, and some of which I debatably like or dislike. So whether you agree with my opinions I express on things or not, I don't much care, but I'd appreciate, I'll be grateful for anybody who watches and listens what I'm doing. So I'm going to review two pretty similar games, and it isn't going to be a very long review. The first one I'm going to review is Outrun 2019 for the Sega Mega Drive, which is over here. This game didn't even really take off for some strange reason. I think it's a fantastic game. It's my favourite Mega Drive game, in fact. So that's going to be the first one I review, and after that I'm going to proceed to review F-Zero, which is this here, for the Super Nintendo. Okay, so here goes. One of those things that always fascinates me about Sega and Sega games is how many times they could fit the Sega logo onto it, or at least just the word Sega. I mean, do you think we didn't know it was Sega? This game's from 1993. I think the graphics and stuff are pretty advanced for the time. I mean, the intro isn't much to go by. It looks pretty simple, but looks can be deceiving. Never judge a book by its cover. When you start the game, you get the option to enter your name, but it doesn't really make any difference because once you turn the game off, it doesn't really store any records. So this function's pretty pointless, but I do quite like entering my name, but can't be bothered to do it, so well, it's going to make me anyway, so there we go. HT, short for High Treason if you haven't latched onto that already. So there we go. The game has only 4 stages, most of which, well, they all have their own scenery and stuff, but they all have the same concept, which is to get to the end of that section of road before the timer runs out. I'm going to go on stage, I'll start with stage 1, that would make sense. Yeah, this game's actually in the form of 3D, which is pretty simplistic, but still, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. You always start in this tunnel for some strange reason. So there we go, this is basically the game. As you can see to the lower right of the screen there's a timer counting down, which I have to beat to the next section of road, which is easy enough. And there we go, the road splits off onto a higher level, but I think it's easier to stay lower down. So as we approach the end of the road section, you'll notice that it widens up, and you get an option to go left or right. I've heard that different routes are actually shorter, but I haven't noticed a major difference, and I've been playing the game long enough so that it doesn't really matter. As the stages advance, the difference between each route does get a little bit more noticeable, but once more, like I said, there isn't a major difference. The only way to find out is trial and error. Unless you're lazy, you can probably look it up on the internet. For some strange reason I always seem to go to the right. Eventually you will come out on a common road that leads to the finish line. If you keep going straight for long enough, you get this sort of boost, which you can't decide whether you want that or not. You can stop it by tapping the brake, which is the A button, but other than that you don't really get much control over that, and it sends your car rocketing up to 640 odd kilometers per hour, which to me it doesn't look like it's actually going that fast, but it's obviously going fast. Well, if this is what 2019 is going to look like, I am not looking forward to it. Everybody drives like they're off their heads. But I guess the car's kind of solid because I've yet to see one bit of damage occur to it. Still, they never said that happened in the manual, but that is kind of non-realistic. So yeah, basically it's the same concept for all 4 stages, although as they go on the stages do get longer. Every time you go to a new section of road you'll find you get more time added on. This time obviously lets you play longer because there's no way I can complete the rest of this on just these 20 odd seconds. But if you get to that bit where the road splits and you've got less than 19 seconds, you can kiss your butt goodbye because there's no way you're going to get there before that time runs out. I think the music in this game is pretty epic as well because, I just think it's a shame the engine noise drowns it out so much, but if you want to listen to it, there's a sound test on the options screen there at the beginning, and so you can talk about in there, although you don't get to hear the full track for a strange reason. Well, I think that's just about my review of this game complete, so now I'm going to move on to F-Zero for the Super Nintendo.